What's up, Epic 7? Happy Mola Monday and welcome to this week's Hall of Trials video. This week we'll be fighting the Rampaging Abyssal Yufine, and this week's got a little bit of RNG to it, but I wanted to show you a team that doesn't rip your entire account apart to make it work. I know regearing's a pain in the butt, so we're going to show you how to accomplish this team without having to ungear and regear everything. I know it's a pain in the butt. Only one unit we're going to tear apart, the others just minor tweaks. So let's get started. So this week is very similar to the prior week, but this week you cannot have two of the same unit. We got to go with 4 unique classes, so no champion Zerato this week. This week we're going to have to run somebody else, and it puts a little bit of RNG to the team. But first things first, my Cecilia. I basically took my normal Cecilia and just threw some HP main boots on her. I know 5 speed pieces, that makes her extra fast, right? I normally run her at like 247-ish speed, and it was just too fast. So I changed out her speed boost to slow her down a little bit and kind of tune her in where I wanted her. I didn't go overly berserk on the speed tuning on this, and it'll cost me some points, but I just wanted to show you how to do it easy without changing everything. You want her on her number 2 exclusive equipment. That is required. You need it for the extra debuffs. For an artifact, I just put a damage boosting artifact on her. If you're having trouble staying alive, put a mitigation artifact like Arius on her to help keep your team alive. Next is my fastest unit, Mascot Hazel. I did not change a damn thing about Mascot Hazel. This is her normal build. This is the way I run her in other content. The only thing I changed is I gave her Warhorn as an artifact. You can use Warhorn, or you could use a Ram's Whistle, whatever it takes to get some extra attack for your team. Now, if you're having trouble staying alive, definitely put a heal boosting artifact like Touch of Rekos or Guardian Ice Crystal on her to help keep your team alive. Next, we're running Bomb Model Kana. Now, Bomb Model Kana, this was a clever pick, and I gotta tip my hat to Mori on this one for figuring this out. Bomb Model Kana is our 4th debuff, because if you get her number 3 exclusive equipment, that gives you a 100% chance to apply heal block, and that qualifies as our 4th debuff, removing a lot of the RNG from the fight. I went ahead and put her on a damage boosting artifact Super Duper Water Gun Shooter to help keep things rolling. If you do not have that exclusive equipment, or for some reason do not have Bomb Model Kana, Arbiter Vilder is about your only option. He has a blind debuff on his S3, and his S1 hits multiple targets, which allows him to decouple the enemies. I'll explain decoupling later. Last is Witch of the Mere Tenebria. This is one you do have to mess with. Witch of the Mere Tenebria has got to be built super ultra damage, the way nobody builds Witch Tenebria. So 85% crit chance, because we do have elemental advantage. Crit damage is more important than attack, but you do want a lot of attack, and give her the Cruel Mischief artifact. If you do not have Witch of the Mere Tenebria, I am so sorry. But you do have an option. You can run Fire Coeric. Fire Coeric does all the tricks Witch of the Mere Tenebria does in this fight, but he doesn't do as much damage. But he's a good alternative. You work with what you got, and that's it. That's your team. So let's jump in the fight and see how this rolls. So at the start of the fight, Abyssal Yufine goes all sicko on us and hits the entire team, doing a good chunk of damage with some pops. So let's go ahead and heal that up with an S3. Now, something to note about Mascot Hazel's S3. If you just double click it, it will put greater attack buff on the highest fire attack unit, but you can choose who greater attack buff goes on by clicking on that unit, by selecting that unit. And you want to consider doing it on herself, because her heals scale off attack as well. We're going to S3 to get immunity on everybody. Unfortunately, Yufine cleanses it there. We're going to S3 on Kana to get a speed buff to help move everybody along. This makes it a lot easier to line up at the end. We just have to make sure that our skills are ready before we push the break phase. Now we just got to get her down to 60% health on the health bar so that we can push phase. So we're going to just S1, that takes us down to 80%. Another S1 takes us down to 75%. She screams. Nobody gets put on fire because of immunity, well, except for Cecilia. We S1 down to 70. Now look at the CR bar, and I can see 2 people are going to go before she takes a turn. So we'll easily get to 60. So I'm going to waste this turn. A little bit of healing for Cecilia. And this gets us down to 65, and Tenebria can get us down to 60. We're now in break phase range. She's going to do her attack. We'll get the little number 4 up there. We need 4 unique attack-based debuffs. Artifacts don't count, so it's got to be from skills. So Kano is not ready with her S3, so we got to go around the horn. Cecilia's ready, but not Kana. So if we use it now, she will cleanse and go back up to 4. See how she goes back up to 4 on her turn? So we got to make sure we get all 4 of these debuffs before she takes a turn. There's one with the 75% chance S1 from Hazel. You can get 25% and brick your run. If you do get 25%, Kana's is guaranteed. If you do get 25%, there's a chance one of Tenebria's S1s can be a debuff that sticks, but not here. Immunity. We didn't get one that stuck. But since Hazel landed hers, we're able to push phase. That's the RNG I'm talking about. Now, we didn't enter the break phase with an attack buff, which is unfortunate. So we're not going to have an attack buff on Tenebria through the whole thing. We're going to have to S3 here to give her an attack buff. Kana's going to S1. That will decouple the eggs. And by that, I mean the eggs will not have the same number. They won't be 3 and 3. They'll be 3 and 2. Now, when we AOT, that will take them down to 201. Man, talking's hard. AoE, that'll take him down to 2 and 1. Mascot Hazel can S2, so we don't do any damage to anything, don't waste any hits. And now when we pop an egg, it's going to reset Tenebria, pushing her to the front of the line, letting her attack again. Egg pops, resets, Tenebria goes again. S2, egg pops, Tenebria resets, pushes to the front of the line, Tenebria can S2 again. So we get 3 big hits. Now, unfortunately, my Mascot Hazel and my Kana are not tuned, so Kana goes first. Mascot Hazel doesn't get a chance to reapply the greater attack, or sorry, reapply the attack buff. So now we're running without an attack buff. We're running without the special boost from a non-attack skill. So we're doing significantly less damage than if I tuned the team properly, but that's okay. I didn't want to rip my whole account apart. I wanted to show you that this can be done with just minor changes and still getting a very good score. We're going to S2. It's going to pop an egg, pushing 10A to the front, popped an egg again, broke the phase, out with 18 million. If I maintain the attack buff all the way through, we'd have about 22 to 23 million points, so it is a significant loss of points not tuning for the attack buff. Okay, let's heal up here since we took some damage. We're going to S3 immediately, get the immunity, because Yufine is ready to scream and set us on fire. So we got our immunity up. We'll just S1 here. Yufine screams, everyone's immune, so nobody takes any burns. Kana's going to S3, give everybody a speed buff, keep us moving forward, being able to get to the break phase quicker, and make sure our turns are ready on our terms. So we're going to S1 here down to 80%, S1 again down to 75%, and we're going to yeah, let's just be safe. Let's S1 down to 70%, chop, chop. Okay, S1 here. Everybody is looking good at 60%. I could go ahead and heal up with the S2 here, or I could AoE heal. Now, the smarter move, guys, would have been to S2 here and save the S3 for a little bit later in this phase, so I could carry the attack buff into the break phase. So again, a little bit better planning can give you a better score. But we S1 here. Her S3 is not ready, so we got to go around the horn. This would have been a good time to S3 with Mascot Hazel. Would have been a smarter time. We would have maintained the attack buff on Tenebria even longer, but it is what it is. We're going to S1 here. Chop, chop. Now we're ready to push the break phase, so we got to not get 25%. Okay, we got the 75% chance. We landed it. This one lands here. My tuning is still off because my Cecilia didn't cut, but that's okay. She made it in here. This is our last 2 debuffs, and we push the break phase. Now, because my Tenebria is not wearing an attack buff, I've got to S3 here to get the attack buff back on her. We're going to S1 to decouple the eggs. We're going to S3 to get the eggs down to 1 and 3 or 1 and 2 so that we're ready to start spamming hits from Tenebria. Now we can S2 here to heal up. And we're ready for our multiple hits. There's 1 hit with attack buff. Pop, pushes forward. There's another hit with an attack buff. Really good damage, pushes forward, and another hit with an attack buff. Oh, sorry, with no attack buffs. Still pretty good damage. Again, my Kana is not properly tuned with my Hazel, so my Kana is going first, so we're not getting the attack buff reapplied. We're just popping an egg and starting Tenebria again. Again, Tenebria going without attack buffs, lowering our score. But like I said, I couldn't be asked to fine-tune this. I wanted to show you guys how to get a super good score without going nuts on regearing your account. So there's another hit. And final hit pushes us out of the break phase at 41 million. Okay, Yufine goes nuts one more time. Third verse, same as the second. Let's heal everybody up. I'm going to click on myself, give greater attack buff to Hazel. That'll make her heal stronger, heal up everybody a little bit better. We'll give immunity to everybody here. Scream, no burns. And let's start chopping down the tree. 90%. Well, S3 for the speed buff. That'll get us down to 85%. Another S1 down to 80%. 75%. 70. Chop, chop. And there's 65%, 60%. We're ready to go into the break phase. Again, an S2 would have been a much smarter move here than an S3. Could have kept my attack buff longer in the break phase, but it is what it is. Everybody's set on fire. We're not quite ready to push phase yet. I think Kana needs to go around the horn. Yes, she does. Kana needs one more turn to have her S3 ready. Everyone else is ready to go, though. And no, because remember, if you put the debuffs on now, when Yufine takes a turn, she will go back to 4. Notice the 3 there at the top. Watch what happens when she takes a turn. Goes right back to 4. You got to get your 4 debuffs in before she takes the turn. So fingers crossed, 75% and go. Oh, thank God we got it. We got it. We got it. We're going to S3 for buff number 2. And then Cecilia's ready to go for buffs 3 and 4. Now this one's a little unusual. Our Tenebria is going first, and she's wearing an attack buff. This actually works out in our favor. So let's go ahead and drop the S2 with the attack buff. We'll do damage. We're going to drop the eggs from 3 and 3 to 2 and 2. And that's okay. Trust. This is all going to work out. Don't panic. Let's give the attack buff back to Tenebria. So Kana's already got the gab. I don't know. I guess I'll just give it to myself. Well, you know, I could have given it to Cecilia. Oh, well. We're going to AoE here. That's going to get the eggs down to 1 and 1. And now Tenebria is going to decouple and activate one of the eggs, pushing Mercedes to the front. Mercedes pushing Tenebria to the front. Tenebria S2s. It's going to pop the second egg. And it's the same as before, but we got away with an extra round of attack buff, right? Before it was S2, S2, and then we S2'd without an attack buff. This one we got the S2 at the start with attack buff, and then 2 S2 with attack buff. And look at this. Hazel is ready to go with her S3 again. This is actually an optimal round. We're going to get all 5 hits off with Tenebria on an attack buff. So if I could tune the team to be like this for the other 2 rounds, I could probably add about 10 to 12 million points to my overall score. I'm not even kidding, that much. So if you really want to tinker with it and tune it, you do you. You go for the best score you can get and kick ass in the top 10. Me, I'm going to be happy with this final score of 74.1 million points, which is a very respectable score for only I think it took 3 attempts if you count the 2 that I did live on stream earlier today. At this speed or at this build level. So yeah, 74 million. That's what a number 26. I think I'll be able to hold top 100 or at least top 1%, hopefully top 100. So there you go. Hopefully this helps you guys out and shows you a way, shows you that you can do this without an insane amount of speed tuning. Now, if you want to go for that top score, tinker with your speeds, get the order perfect. Try to have it like my third phase where you're attack buffed for all 5 of Tenebria's attacks. Speed tune it in such a way so that Tenebria's last attack, everybody is in high up enough that she can S3 into her S2 to get that extra damage boost from the non-attack skill. Me, I'm going to relax and be happy at 26 for now. Hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys have a great rest of your week.